the president of St. Mary's University Institute, the vice chancellor of St. Mary's Institute, the registrar of the University of Boya, and I dare say my registrar, because I'm a staff of the University of Boya on secondment to the University of Bamenda in the last 12 years. So I have to say this. The CEO of Access Bank, who I met for the first time today, the CEO of Maghrebi ICO Cameroon Eye Institute, distinguished and esteemed faculty, staff, and students. It is with great honor, a sense of high privilege that I stand here to represent Madame the Vice Chancellor of the University of Bamenda, Professor Theresianko Akenji, who would have loved to be here personally, but for some last-minute emergencies, and she decided to send me to represent her. I didn't come with this speech to present, but like an old broom that knows how to sweep, I'm always moving with something to say. I want to begin by saying that invisibly, I think I contributed to the being or the creation of St. Mary University Institute. I recall very well sitting in my office and the sister-in-law of the president, Mr. Paul Attack, showed me a document about a secondary school he was about to open. And I asked a simple question. Why does he want to create a secondary school when there is not money in higher education? She took the message to him, and I got a phone call when he was at an airport, I wouldn't remember which. He told me, I have heard. I haven't forgotten. This stemmed from the fact that as Director of Academic Affairs in the University of Bamenda, where I've served for 5 to 6 years, I have been the lead person in inspecting private higher education before they are created. So I know what is in the business. I am happy he heeded the advice. I was also here to inspect this school, and I'm happy we are the ones mentoring it. I want to doff my hat to the president of this university. And by that, I mean the founder, the proprietor, whichever name you choose to call him. He is a very successful man. And success, one of the speakers have highlighted, or has highlighted, it's not measured in terms of your achievements, but in terms of the difference you create to the people of your community. And I guess this is what Mr. Athan has done and is doing. Dear matriculants, if I had to choose going back to the university, I would choose coming to St. Mary's University Institute. Where you are, where you find yourself today, I bet you I had the rare privilege of experiencing this only in Europe. I can tell you, as a young graduate from the University of Ibadan many years ago, when I came back to Cameroon and I was recruited to the University of Boya, it took me a very long time to go to the university library. Perhaps I went there not more than 5 times. You know why? Because where I was coming from and what I was seeing at the library was not inspiring to go and amuse me. But here you are. You have everything. You have the facilities, the library, the laboratories, the buildings. This place is even underutilized. But don't bother. You are pioneers. And like SMUI says, great things come in small packages. You are a new product because Mr. Adam is innovative and has brought an innovation. One of the theories of innovation, Everett Rogers, in his theory, diffusion of innovation, it tells you how people take up new ideas. So I am not bothered about the 33 of you, because in the days ahead, it will be bigger. Do you know how they take up innovation? It says even the innovators, only 2.5% of them buy their own innovation, their own ideas. You have the early adopters who buy in 13.5%. You have the early majority, 34%. The late majority, 34%. And the laggards, the people who wait to see whether the train is really on course, 16%. With time, people will get to know what St. Mary is all about. I want to thank the CEO of Access Bank. He touched on some of the core values I was going to share with you here. Humility, respect, integrity. And guess what? The motto of the University of Bamenda is knowledge, probity, and integrity. Knowledge which you seek, and probity is about your integrity, your honesty. And of course, you must be entrepreneurial. Entrepreneurial is what the penultimate speaker, Dr. Kume, harped on. And this is where I want to make a difference. I listened keenly. He says you begin by identify a problem that impacts your society and make sure you solve it with excellence. And this is what the whole concept of the entrepreneurial university, which you are part of, is all about. You do your market analysis and you identify where you think no other person is dealing with, and you excel. For those of you who are doing biological sciences, nursing for example, you may ask yourself, and many people may wonder, there are so many nurses, so many people in biology, why are you still into nursing? Tell them I want to be a nurse with a difference. Because you are here in St. Mary to acquire not only knowledge, but also knowledge and skills. Knowledge and skills. You want to marry theory and practice. One scholar once said that if you know only theory without practice, you are an empty verbalist. And if you know practice without theory, you are a blind activist. You need both theory and practice to achieve praxis. Today, we are talking about the competency-based education. And in the competency-based education, the focus is on the skills. And that's why I appreciate the President for bringing this caliber of speakers. Because the message you have got, the information today, is worth more than 60 hours of lectures in a classroom. Please clap for them. My dear young friends, I want to urge you to dream. I urge you to dream. Many years ago on transit in the Brussels International Airport, I read a very big banner. It is not enough to dream, but to realize your dreams. It is not enough to dream, but to realize your dreams. Martin Luther King Jr., the famous "I have a dream," once said, if you cannot fly, you should run. If you cannot run, you should walk. If you cannot walk, you should crawl, but never stop moving. I urge you to never stop moving. St. Mary's University Institute has all what it takes, okay, to make you successful and innovative graduates from here. Your future is in your hands, and today you stand between the intersection of your present and your future. And remember, the future is not some place that you are hoping to attain. Your future is being created, is being shaped here and now. You have to clench this. I want to thank your parents for choosing St. Mary's University Institute. It is not enough to have money to be able to send a child to this type of school. It takes someone who knows what he or she is doing to send the child to the school rather than to some cheap educational outfit. You have all to make the best. You have the quality staff, you have the infrastructure, the management is dedicated and committed. The University of Bamenda, the mentoring university, will leave no stone unturned to accompany St. Mary and the illustrious and promising students to the end of their dreams. I thank all of you, and may God bless you.